All right, good evening. Welcome to Hatha Yoga. Let's grab your blocks, or option is to use a bolster for this first one where we come into a supported bridge. So I would love you to have your blocks handy anyway at the front of your mat, but for our first shape, we will be taking the block or the bolster under the hips, under the sacrum. So it's always just a reminder to practice with awareness of your own body and what your body needs. Come on down. Let's come into a bridge shape. So your heels are nestled under your hips in alignment with your hips and knees. And we'll take that block, pressing through the heels, scoop the tailbone down and up towards the front of the mat. Lift the hips up and place that block under the sacrum. Let your pelvis melt down. And spend a few moments here, just starting to gently open up through the front body. We'll do some opening for the hips in a moment. And if you like to have your hands on your navel, that can be really lovely to rest there, feeling the breath, natural breath in and out. If there's somewhere else you like your arms, sometimes I like them palms facing up alongside the body. Sometimes it's really lovely to take them overhead. Always nice to spend the first few moments of a practice grounding into the body, checking in, and just arriving here on the mat. Maybe you'd like to deepen your breath here, starting to lengthen the inhale and match with the same duration exhale. Take 3 full rounds of breath from here. If your arms are overhead, bring them down alongside your body, staying on the block for a moment. Bring your right knee in towards your chest. Use your hands to draw the knee closer towards the chest and slightly outside of the rib cage, so you're reaching towards the direction of the right shoulder. You could grab under the back of the knee or on the front of the shin and clasp your hands and draw the knee in as you extend out the left leg gently towards the front of the mat. So here we're getting the opening, starting to release through the front of the hip flexors. Really nice if you've been sitting at your desk or sitting in a car all day. Breathe into the front of the hip. Final deep breath. Beautiful, team. Gently release. Rebending the left knee. Place the sole of the foot to the ground. Place the right foot down. Take the left knee in towards the chest, out towards the shoulder. Find your clasp. Squeeze it in gently and gently walk out the right leg. Always move gently, team. Always with attentiveness to those little signals of your body. Final deep breath. And release. Rebend the right knee. Place both soles of the feet to the ground. Just take a breath here in neutral. Pelvis releasing over the block. And then to release, walk the heels nice and close to the bottom. Draw up, pressing through the heels, hips up to the ceiling. Little squeeze of the bottom as you go. Remove the block. Face it over to the side. And we'll make our way into all fours. So if you'd like to come with me, you can draw your knees to your chest, take a little rock. You can roll either side to side and come on up. Or sometimes, if I have the energy, I like to roll forward and back. And then bring yourself over to hands and knees. We won't be here too long. And always know you can pad up your knees with your mat, place a blanket under the knees. Just a couple of oscillations through the spine here. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Inhale to dip the belly, open the heart, gaze up. Exhale to reverse, draw the chin to the chest, push the ground away and round the spine. Take 2 more, inhale. And exhale to release. Last one, let your breath guide you. Inhale, exhale. Beautiful. Now we'll move into a downward dog. Options for a downward dog might be to walk your hands forward and sink your chest down towards the ground, forehead taps down for a mounting heart shape. Another option might be to use your blocks and use that as a bit of lift up out of the shoulders so you've got extra height in the arms. If you're ready to come into a downward dog, you're welcome to come with me by pressing, curling the toes under, drawing the navel in wherever you are, puffing up between the shoulder blades and then lifting the hips to the ceiling. If you're in your downward dog, either on blocks or on the ground, press down through all 4 corners of the palm and gently press the shoulder blades down the back so the shoulders are away from the ears. There can be a nice softness to the knees and extending the heels back towards the ground. Tailbone lengthens up towards the ceiling, lifting up out of the hands, pressing firmly into the hands and the finger pads. Take a big deep breath. And then we'll take a little stroll to the top of the mat. You can bend your knees generously and little tippy toes. Take your feet as wide as you like here. And then release yourself at the top of the mat into a forward fold, draping the weight to the front of the feet. Let the head hang heavy. Give it a little shake here. So a nod out and a shake left and right. In your hands, you might grab opposite elbows here. Check that the weight's forward into the front of the feet, lengthening out the back of the body. One more deep breath. Beautiful. Release the hands to the ground. Draw the energy, the weight to the heels. Squeeze the bottom. Keep that squeeze. Gently roll on up, vertebra by vertebra. Letting the shoulders land over the hips. Give the shoulders a roll up to the ears and slide them down the back. Hold here. Take a few moments to ground here. Check that your feet are hip width apart. So feet hip width apart. Generally it's about 2 fists between the feet for most of us. It means that our joints are nice and stacked and feel really stable. And when you have that, lengthen down that tailbone. Good. Keep the shoulders soft. Palms face forward, thumb tips out. Crown of the head reaches tall. And gently press the heels down. Press through all 4 corners of the feet and gently press the heels apart, the heels and knees apart. Feel that strength through the back line of the body. Take one more deep breath. Beautiful. We're ready to flow. Inhale, sweep your arms wide and high. If it's safe for your neck, you might even look up here. Take a mini back bend and spread the arms, float forward, sending the hips back, forward fold, Uttanasana. Weight to the front of the feet. Halfway lift, Urdhva Uttanasana. Roll the shoulders up, back and down. Bring the gaze forward, chest is open. Exhale to fold. Now here's where we might use our blocks. You're welcome to have them under your hands. Step back with the left leg. Nice big generous step. Drop that knee down. Uncurl the back toes and then bring yourself up. Maybe hands come to that front knee first and then sweep your arms up to the ceiling. Now, anytime you're sweeping arms, feel free to keep them soft, bent in a cactus or reaching up if that feels good for your upper body. Now here we want to lengthen the tailbone down too. So notice that lower back. If there's any arch, we want to lengthen, draw the tailbone towards the ground and then start to send the hips forward. Now if your arms are up, clasp your hands, point your index fingers, roll the shoulders away from the ears, work the arms in line with the ears. Maybe gaze up again if that's okay for your neck. Next, exhale, circle the arms behind the body. Frame the front foot. It's a nice time for blocks here too, especially if you've got short arms like mine. I'm going to bring the hips up and back, come into half Hanuman. So we straighten through the front leg, flex the front ankle joint, open the heart, and then bow over the extended leg. So we're looking for a nice opening through the back of the front leg. Chest is still proud, but reaching your forehead down towards your knee. Always just going to the depth that feels good for you. Now notice here if your front hip, your right hip pops forward, gently draw it back. Keep the hip bones aligned with each other. Final deep breath. Bring yourself forward, low lunge. Now this time we're taking ourselves back into our high plank. So you could just scoop this front foot back, bring it to so both knees match, shoulders are over the wrists, puffing between the shoulder blades. You're welcome to curl your toes under, bring your knees off the ground. Either way, as belly zips in, tailbone tucks under, puffing between the shoulder blades. Hold for one more breath. And then make your way to your downward dog. So either hips up and back, or feel free to take that melting heart option. Hips above the knees, arms extend forward. Or of course you've got your blocks here for that extra height through the arms. Lengthening tailbone, soft as you need in the knees. Totally cool. Take a final breath. Beautiful. Now ground down through the right foot. Lift the left leg up towards the ceiling. Hold there, three-legged dog. If you're in your variation in melting heart, you can be reaching this foot behind you from an all fours position. And then we'll bring this leg through into low lunge. So you can shimmy your way there, curl the knee towards the chest, and then make your way, bring that knee forward between the hands. Take your time and drop the back knee when you're ready. You can take as much time as you need here. We find our way into that low lunge. Hands come to knees. Lengthen the tailbone down again. Gently drop the hips. Maybe circle the arms upwards. If you have the arms, clasping hands, release the index finger and gently drop the hips forward. Maybe a little gaze up, soft back bend. Circle the arms behind the body. Frame the front foot, hands to the ground or maybe to blocks. Uncurl the back knee and then find your way up, meeting at the front of the mat. And releasing down. Forward fold, Uttanasana. Bring the weight to the heels, squeeze into the bottom, sweep the arms wide and high up to the ceiling, and then land the hands at prayer. Beautiful. Now we've got the second side to do there, so keep your blocks handy and we'll start again. Inhale, arms sweep to the ceiling. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, your halfway lift. Roll the shoulders up, back and down. Look forward, nice open heart. Exhale to release. This time we step back with the right foot. Drop the knee to the ground. Feel free to pad it up if you like. Bring yourself into that low lunge. Hands maybe support to the knee. Lengthen tailbone down to the ground. Sweep the arms to your height. If you have the arms, a clasp, index finger points. Maybe take that opposite clasp. Drop the hips as you open the heart gently. And circle the arms behind the body. Frame the front foot. Hands to blocks or to your ground. And gently walk the hips up and back. Straightening out the front leg or towards straight. You can have a bend towards the knee as well, which can be nice, especially if you feel some tightness behind that leg. We can flex the ankle joint back too. Open the heart and then bow over the extended leg. And forehead can be reaching towards the knee. And check how your hips are feeling here. That front hip is popping forward. Draw it gently back. Notice how that changes the sensation here. And one final breath. Rebend into your lunge, bringing the blocks forward if you had them, framing the front foot. And we make our way into our high plank. So you can shimmy that front foot, come into your knee high plank. You could come into your toe high plank. So lifting up, puffing up between the shoulder blades, zipping in the belly. Holding here for 2 more deep breaths wherever you are. Downward facing dog, your variation. Take the hips up towards the ceiling, lengthen out through the arms, the spine, press the ground away, hips up to the ceiling. Good, hold for 1 more deep breath. Good. Bring both feet towards each other if they're not already, and then take your right leg up towards the ceiling or out behind you. 3-legged dog. Keep lengthening out of the arms, and then bring yourself through into low lunge. So bending at the knee, curling that knee towards the chest, and finding your foot towards the front of the mat, between the hands, and gently dropping the back knee. Making our way into the low lunge, hands come to knees, lengthen tailbone, sweeping the arms to the ceiling. Take the clasp if your arms are up, point the index finger, drop the hips, gently open up the heart. Circle the arms behind the body, frame the front foot, and let's make our way to the top of the mat. Lift up the back knee, step together, and forward fold here. Bring the weight to the heels, squeeze the bottom, sweep the arms wide and high, Land them at your prayer, at your heart. Beautiful. Let's come into our warrior sequence. Keeping your blocks handy. We have a bit of balancing today, so it might be nice to have a wall or block as an option handy as well. Start with the feet at hip width apart. Soften into the knees, and then we'll take a big step back with the left foot. We're setting up for warrior one. So the back foot plants down at 45 degrees, center the hip bones to the front and begin to bend into that front knee. Now you're finding a depth here and a distance that allows you to keep the front knee over the ankle, keep the hip bones centered towards the front, and work the back foot towards flat on the mat. When you're steady there, you might like to sweep the arms to the ceiling. Always that option to keep them bent or to the hips as well. Staying strong and grounded in your warrior one. Notice if your lower back feels like there's any compression, lengthen that tailbone down. Hold for a full breath. Bring the hands to your heart. Transition into warrior three. Transfer the weight to the front foot. Now this can be a couple of little steps or one big one. And if you do have a wall handy, you could be reaching the wall to the side or in front. That's always an option. We bring all the weight forward, start to pick up that back leg. It can always stay down towards the ground. And then hinge on over that standing leg, turning the hip bones to face down. Maybe the hands stay at the heart. Maybe the arms extend to the side. For something a little stronger, reaching the arms forward. And this is where it can be nice to tap against a wall. So really turning the hip bones down here. They'll want to open out. Work on turning down, squeezing the standing buttock, lengthening out from that back leg. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Hands return to prayer. Warrior one. Step back. A couple of steps or a big one with that back foot. Reach your arms to your height. Here again. Hold your warrior one. Beautiful. Next, inhale to reach your arms tall and exhale. Split the arms, warrior two. This will take a little adjustment for the back foot. So take your time here. If you'd like to release your hands, reset your shoulders, do that. Check here that the knee feels safe and grounded over the front ankle. We have the hips facing the side here. Tailbone still lengthened so the bottom isn't popping out. Back heel working down, really strong through the legs. Arms can be up at shoulder height. Gazing over the front middle finger. Squeezing your buttocks to keep you strong here. Hold, take a big deep breath. Beautiful. Flip the front palm, reach the torso forward and take that hand up over the ceiling, paint the ceiling, reverse your warrior. Beautiful. Return to warrior two. Hold for a full inhale. Stay for the exhale. Now we cartwheel the hands, pivot on the back toes, frame the front foot. So we have both hands either to the ground or to your blocks. And we'll take an open twist. Now you're welcome to drop your back knee down here at any point as well. Your left hand to block or to the ground. Peel open your right hand. Reach that right arm to the ceiling. Zip in both hip bones. And squeeze. One more breath, lift up out of the standing hand and circle the arm behind the body. Again, framing the front foot. Bring the back foot to meet the front, forward fold. A couple of steps or a big one. Release over the front feet. Reach the arms wide and high and land them to your prayer. Let's take that warrior sequence to your second side. I'll start with the feet at hip width, lengthen tailbone, Inhale, sweep your arms, draw them to your heart. Step back with your right foot. It's a nice generous step. And then start to sink into your front knee, hip bones to face forward, working the back outer blade edge of the foot down. Notice how this feels on this side. For me, really tight on my right side. I have to really work at lengthening and actively trying to push the outer blade edge of the back foot down. When you're feeling steady, you can explore your arms, reaching them up towards your height. Shoulders still draw away from the ears. Good, feeling strong in your warrior. Take a full deep breath. Warrior 3, return the hands to your heart. If you need to make a shorter distance between the feet, just walk the left foot over towards the middle of the mat a little. Start to pivot, to bring the weight, transfer the weight to the front foot and come up off that back foot or keeping it down for support. And then transferring the weight, hinging over the hips. If you're in the Warrior 3, your hands can stay at your heart. Maybe reach out to the side, maybe coming forward. Wherever you are, the hips are going to want to open out. So keep drawing them down, squeezing the left butt cheek to hold you strong here, reaching the leg up behind you. Hold for 3, for 2, for 1. Warrior 1, gently release, back foot. Doesn't matter if it's a big kind of landing there. Just work on a nice safe landing. Hold for another full inhale. Stay for the exhale. On our next breath, Warrior 2, inhale tall. Exhale, split the arms, adjust your feet. Take the time that you need to find the right adjustment. We want to feel steady here. So nice and centered, heel to heel or heel to back arch alignment. Arms can extend. Gaze over that front middle finger. Front knee nice and steady over the front ankle. Squeezing, feeling the strength of your glutes. Hold your warrior. And flip your front palm, reach forward, paint the ceiling. Beautiful. Warrior 2, and we cartwheel the hands. So circle the back arm forward, spin the hips to face forward, frame the front foot. Keep the knee lifted or drop it down to the ground. Plant down your right hand, peel open through the left, reaching up to the ceiling, pressing up out of the standing hand. Good, squeeze both butt cheeks to keep them centered. One more deep breath. And circle the hand to meet the front. Back foot steps in, forward fold, Uttanasana. Weight to the heels, squeeze bottom, reach the arms high, land them at your prayer. Beautiful, nice and warmed up. Feel free to take a drink here. We'll meet again at the front of the mat. Just had to check that I didn't have my heater on. It's just on the fake heat setting, which looks pretty. It keeps me cool. All right, now we'll repeat and add on a little from here. So we'll start with your left leg back into your warrior. Warrior 1, lengthen tailbone, feet at hip width apart, hands to prayer. Soften into the knees and step back with your left foot. So set up here for Warrior 1, turn the hip bones forward. Second time here, lengthen tailbone. You know where you're going, your body's warmed up to this shape now. Take your arms as you wish. Hold here for a full inhale. Smooth breath out. Hands to prayer. Warrior 3. Transfer the weight to the front foot. Start to center the hips as you bring your weight forward and maybe lifting up that back leg as you turn your torso down towards parallel with the ground. Choose your arm option, keeping them at heart, maybe extending them out to the side, maybe reaching them forward, really working on centering the hip bones down to the ground. If you flex your back ankle joint, turn the pinky toes down to the ground, that'll help you to center the hip bones. Hold for another breath. Warrior one, Virabhadrasana one, drop that foot back to the ground. Find your arm shape. Hold. Warrior two, Virabhadrasana two. Arms extend out. Good. Take the time to adjust the feet. It's usually a little bit wider for most of us from that shape. Good. Holding strong here. Keeping the shoulders away from the ears. Tailbone tucks under. Stay for another full breath. Flip the front palm. Paint the ceiling, reverse your warrior. Beautiful. Warrior two. Let's set up for triangle. Straighten into the front leg, adjust your step, hips back as you extend the arm forward, and then rotate your torso. Really work on drawing the tailbone under, keeping grounded, really strong through both legs, finding an anchoring for the arm. Bottom hand could be to the shin, it could be reaching around the ankle or palm, back of the palm to the inner shin. And find a spot for the gaze, up to the hand, straight ahead or maybe down to the bottom hand. Draw the tailbone under. Good. Think about the length from the side waist too. Resist any crunching into that side waist. Final breath. Now just listen and where we're going from here to half moon pose. Top hand comes to the hips. Soften into the front knee. If you have your block, really nice to take it with you here. Just shimmy myself back a little. So here we're starting to transfer the weight to the front leg. The block will come about a foot in front of that front leg. And then we start to transfer the weight to the standing leg, lift up the back left leg, open the hips and the torso to the side. Hand can be on the block for support. Now one option here too is using a wall, and I've cleared a bit of wall space here. So if you'd like to try that as well, this can be a lovely way to feel really supported in this shape. So there's a few options to play with here. I'm going to give you a little bit of time. What we're looking for is to open out the body to the side, keep strong in that standing leg, lifting up out of the bottom hand, maybe even taking the top arm to the ceiling. Gaze could be forward here too. You can have a few plays here if you want to readjust your spot. We've got about 6 full deep breaths. And anytime you'd like to come out, you're welcome to. We'll meet again in Warrior Two. If you've chosen one variation using the wall and you want to come into trident space, go for it. One more full breath. And then we'll meet in Warrior Two. So you can gently drop the back foot to the ground, take your time to readjust the feet as you like. Beautiful. Hold your Warrior Two. Beautifully strong. Gaze over the front middle finger. Take a full breath. Beautiful. Straighten into the front leg. Bring the hands to the hips. Turn the front toes in. Good. Let's come into a brief wide-legged forward fold. Send the hips back. Chest is open. Good. Bring your hands towards the ground. You could keep your chest upright. Hold here. If you're feeling stable there, you might bend into the elbows. Start to walk the hands back towards the line of the heels. Elbows facing forward. Forehead, crown of the head reaches towards the ground. One full breath here. Good. Now lift up halfway. Place your left hand in front, palm down, or maybe on the finger pads here, and then lengthen out through the opposite arm, reaching that right arm up to the ceiling. Now, if you'd like to bend your knees here, if that feels best, go for it. Or reaching up and twisting from the spine, opening up the heart. Take another breath. And release, switch over hands. Right hand replaces the left. Find it in the middle there. Peel open through your left. Good, find that twist from the waist. Good, hold for another breath. Beautiful. Bring the hand down to the ground. Hands come to hips, halfway lift, chest open. Press through the heels, squeeze the bottom. Keep that as you lift on up. Beautiful, warrior two. Fantastic. From here, cartwheel the hands to frame the front foot. Beautiful, open twist. Plant down through that left hand, peel open through the right. Hips draw in, squeeze the bottom. And then circle the arm to frame the front foot and meet at the front of the mat. Forward fold. And reach up to the ceiling, hands come to your prayer. Beautiful, let's take that to the second side. Feet starting at hip width apart, lengthen down your tailbone, hands to prayer. Just a softness to the knees, big generous step back with your right foot for warrior one, Virabhadrasana one. Turn the hip bones to face forward. Find a nice step through that front knee. Work on planting the blade edge of the back foot down, maybe reaching the arms to the ceiling. Full inhale, stay for the exhale. Good, bring the hands to your prayer. If you'd like to adjust your feet, do that now. Sitting up for a warrior three transition. Popping off the back foot, bringing the weight forward. If you're coming into your full warrior three, lifting the back leg, turning the hip bones down, flexing the back ankle joint, and that'll help to keep everything nice and centered with the hips. Arms maybe out to the side, maybe forward. Find what works for you. Lengthening out of tailbone, beautiful long spine. Hold for three, for two, for one, warrior one. Hands come to prayer as you drop down through the back foot. Option to bring your arms back up. Hold and steady yourself. Well done. On your next breath, take warrior two. Inhale, reach tall. Exhale, split the arms. Adjust your feet. Take your time. Never feel like you need to hurry. My guidance is always just a guide. Hold strong in your Virabhadrasana 2. Beautiful. Flip the front palm, reach forward and draw a line through the ceiling. Side body stretch. Beautiful. Warrior 2. Press equally through that back foot. Trikonasana. Triangle. Straighten the front leg. Maybe adjust feet. Hips back, really reach forward, lengthen out through the sideways. So notice if you crunch, if you tend to crunch into the side, the left side here, think about lengthening as much as you are through the right side. Find the spot for your hand and your gaze. Notice if the bottom pops out, draw it under. Good, well done. Take a full deep breath. Sit up here for your variation of your half moon pose. Top hand comes to the hips, bend into the front knee. Now starting to transition the weight. If you'd like to take that block, if you'd like to take that wall, feel free to set yourself up We have a bit of time to play here, so you can choose one and then adjust as you need. Bring the weight to the left foot, lift up through the right, flexing into the right ankle joint to help keep the legs strong. Open up the hips to the side. Good. Feel free to adjust, and if you fall out like I just did, explore coming straight back into it. Maybe taking your arm to the ceiling. Maybe your gaze comes to the side, forward of your body now too. If you're feeling really steady there, you might even play with releasing the support of the block. Find the height that serves you. Good stuff. Take another full inhale. Stay for the exhale. When you're ready in the next breath or two, return to warrior two, stepping the back foot down to the ground, rebending into the front knee. Well done. Beautiful. Relax into your warrior two. Hands come to hips, straighten the front leg. Turn the toes in. Good, let's send the bottom back, chest is nice and proud here. Come on down, bring your hands all the way down towards your block or ground here. If you've got the hands reaching the ground, feel free to start to walk them back into the line of the heels. Elbow creases face forward, bending the elbows. The forehead or crown of the head, reaches down towards the ground. Pressing up out of the hips. Final deep breath. To come up, lift halfway. Squeeze the bottom from here, press through the heels, hands to hips. Draw your body upright with strength. Turn the front toes out. Rebend for warrior two. Well done. Last time here. Circle the arms to frame the front foot, pivoting on the back foot. Place down the right hand to block or ground and peel open through your left. Open heart. Take a full breath. Exhale, release the arm, frame the front foot. Step that back foot in to meet the front. Forward fold. And then roll yourself up, sweep the arms and land the hands to prayer. Beautiful. And we have a little bit of balancing from here. So a couple of options to have a block handy. You are welcome to have a wall handy as well behind you. And we're coming into a stalk pose, and then option two, take that out in front and out to the side. So this might be something that you've practiced before. Just adjust my camera touch. All right, so if you are using the block, if you like to have a little bit of support there, you'll have this block just in front of you. You can choose the height. Obviously, the higher your foot's going to be a little higher up. And we'll start with the right foot. So we'll bring the hands to the hips, ground down. So you'll be grounding down through your right foot. So it'll be your right hip that'll be working strong here. Start to either pick up your heel, left heel, or maybe bring that left knee up towards hip height. Now, if you've got it there at hip height, flex into the ankle joint. Again, that'll help to keep center the hips. And here's where you can use your block. Just tapping your foot to one height of the block. And it can give you a little sense of grounding, a little sense of safety there. You can be really light with that if you like. Now, if you're feeling comfortable there, you might like to explore reaching the leg out. Hold for a breath. And then bring that leg back in. Now, option from here, and you can choose any of these shapes where we've been. If you'd like to come with me, take your hand to your knee, or option here to also take the hand to the big toe. If you've got the peace finger grip around that big toe, you could explore reaching that out in front. I quite like this knee option where your hand's just to your knee, and then you always know that you've got the block there too. Wherever you are, lifting tall, through the heart, and then start to open out the knee towards the side. So working on keeping the hip bones facing forward, flex into the ankle joint. An option to take the arm out to the side. Good. Notice if this hip sort of drops in, lift up tall from the standing leg. Option to maybe gaze over the extended arm, challenging your balance when you take your gaze from the center. If you've taken your gaze out there, bring it through center. Good, well done. Bring the knee back through center. Beautiful. Take both arms up towards the ceiling. Foot can always be on the block here. Big deep breath. Beautiful. And we'll land in chair pose. So drop the feet to the ground, bend into the knees, hips sink back. So from the side, when we're in our chair pose, lengthening the arms again, they can always bend. We're dropping the hips without sending the knees forward. Good. Hold a strong chair. Heart open for 3. Maybe sinking the hips a little lower for 2. And 1. Straightening out through the legs, releasing everything out. Well done. If that block was handy for you, keep it there. If having the wall is handy for you, stay nearby. Let's take that to the second side. Transfer the weight into your left leg. Now start to lift up. You're coming with me. You're lifting up the right knee, bringing it towards hip height. Flex the ankle joint. Squeeze that buttock in there. So that left hip will probably want to pop out. So really center, squeeze it in. Option to extend this leg out. Hold there, the strength of your body to start. And then return to stork pose. Now option here is taking your peace finger grip around the big toes and extending the leg out before we come out to the side, or you're bringing your hand around your knee. Good, big breath. And open the leg out towards the side. Good, if you're feeling stable there, taking the opposite arm. Good, option to take your gaze over. Lifting tall out of the hips, hold for 3, for 2, for 1. Beautiful, bring the knee through center and the gaze. Take the arms up to the ceiling for stork pose. Good, lift up out of the hips again. And then release just the foot down into chair pose, bending into both knees. Chest open, squeezing the strength in your buttocks. Well done. Hold for a big, deep breath. And release. Bring everything up to stand. Beautiful. Well done. Let's bring everything down to the ground. We've got a little mini flow. If you want to take a downward dog with me, or you can just meet me in rest. And we'll all find our way into a child's pose for a brief rest. So starting at the top of your mat, lengthen your tailbone down to the ground. Inhale to take your arms to your height. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands released to blocks or ground, downward facing dog. Really press down through all 4 corners of the palms if you're here. Feel free to drop down to child's pose any point. Softening the knees and lifting the hips up to the ceiling. Pressing up out of the hands, lengthening the spine. Heels reaching towards the ground. In the next 2 or 3 breaths, make your way down into child's pose. If you love a close knee child's pose, that can be a nice option. Bring the knees together and the palms facing up alongside the body, forehead taps down. Or I really like the space in between from my navel to draw between my knees. Knees wide, hips back, extending the arms forward. Take a full breath in, smooth breath out. And gently draw yourself up and roll over just onto one side so we can come into a comfortable seat and take a good stretch from here. So here we'll bring in the left shin first, coming into a cross-legged shape, not your traditional cross-legged, more like a fire log variation. So left shin will come first and then right shin in front. Flex both ankle joints. And think about having the joints somewhat stacked. Beautiful. Now here, lifting up tall out of the hips and start to hinge forward from the hips. So rather than rounding here, we're still lifting up through the heart. I'll take this on the side too. Keeping the action by flexing into the ankle joints and then walking, creeping the hands forward. When you have found you've got to that maximum point, you're starting to get an opening through the hips. That's when we can let everything melt down. So you might round a little into the upper back, still lengthening out of the lower back. Take a final deep breath. Then gently press yourself up. Good. Extend both legs out wide. We'll come into a wide forward fold here. Upavista Konasana. And then we'll take the second side. Lift up from your hips. Legs extend out. And again, hinging forward. And you can keep a generous softness to the knees. If you find that you've got a bit of tightness behind there, even a block under the knees can be a support sometimes. Or just keeping an active bend into them. You can see how it feels to flex the ankle joints back towards the face. And then just walking yourself forward. Again, finding a spot that gives you pretty juicy opening, but feels like a spot you can hold. Three more deep breaths from here. Gently come up by walking yourself up using the hands. We'll set up for that opposite side for the hips, bending into the right leg this time. So we're not bringing the heel close to the groin, keep it a little further away and then bend the opposite leg in front. And when you're ready, gently bring yourself down. Next breath to draw your body upright and then gently make your way back onto your back. Back to where we started. Bring your knees to your chest. Give them a squeeze in, a little rock side to side. And then take a gentle twist here. Extend the arms out to the side, knees to the chest, and then drape over towards your right. Maybe you can bring your gaze over towards your left. Knees come through center, and then gently over towards your left. Gaze to the opposite direction. Big deep breath. And as you bring them back through center, take any other shapes that you need. If you like to take a happy baby, if you know that one, planting the feet towards the ceiling, knees are wide and bent towards the armpits. That can feel lovely, maybe even a bit of movement here. And then we'll make our way into Shavasana. Reaching your legs out straight towards the corners of the mat, taking up some space. And if you know that that doesn't serve you, if you like your knees bent or some support under the knees, go for it. And palms can face up alongside the body. Slide the shoulder blades down the back, close down the eyes. Let your body do its magic by integrating all of that movement, giving you whatever feedback it offers. And let yourself restore, coming into the parasympathetic nervous system, rest and digest. Now, of course, I always love for you to know that you can stay here as long as you like. And if you do have the time right now this evening, I'd invite you to stay another few minutes, another 5 or 10 minutes. I'm going to leave you with this beautiful, beautiful soulful tune here. Please do stay for as long as serves you. Enjoy your evening. Enjoy your practice. Namaste.
Namastasye, 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 namo namaha. Lalita Devi Mahamaye Mangale Namastasye, 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 namo namaha. Mahakali Bhairavi Namastasye, 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 namo namaha. Lalita Devi Mahamaye Ma Bhavani Ambike Namastasye 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 Namo Namaha Amba Lalita Devi Annapurna Lakshmi Ma Namastasye, 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 Namo Namaha. Kamala Katyayani Namastasye, 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 Namo Namaha. Ma Amba Lalita Devi Tvam Brahmani Gayatri Namastasye, 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 Namo Namaha. Ma Lalita Devi Tvam Tripura Sundari Namastasye, 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 Namo Namaha. Amba Lalita Devi Mata Bhuvaneshwari Namastasye, Namah